Welcome to the SBR NHL Double Play of the Day video for Saturday, March the 7th. I'm Ian Cameron, battling the cold, but here nevertheless because I wouldn't let down the viewers. Ready to break down the Saturday NHL, not the card, but the plays of the day from Adam Booth and myself. We're both in profit, which is nice to see, as you can see on the bottom of the screen. It's good to see that. So hopefully we can keep it going. Hopefully a 2-0 sweep in order for this Saturday card. Adam is going to look to cash a ticket early for you. Put some money in your
Hmm.
pocket early on this Saturday because the game he's selected is one of the first games off the board today. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New York Islanders. We've got the New York Islanders minus 125 home favorites here, total 5.5, shaded to the under. This courtesy of SBRodds.com. Make sure that you are checking out SBRodds.com daily for the best price and in line with each of your bets, and also the great NHL written content daily at sbrvideo.com/NHL. Carolina and the New York Islanders, interesting game. Big game, obviously. I mean, the Carolina Hurricanes are out of the mix in the wild card race, but they're right behind the second wild card, which is the Islanders right now, who are just slumping in a really bad way. I mean, when you lose to the Ottawa Senators like they did the other night, tells you all you need to know about the struggles for this Islanders team right now. An Islanders team that offensively it's been spotty for them, and defensively their plays dropped a little bit. Carolina dealing with problems on defense with injuries. Both of their top goalies out, dealing with Nedeljkovic and Forsberg, their AHL goalies. Adam has found value in the total, though, for this game. Hurricanes and Islanders. You liking the over? Tell us why you're on that.
This has been one of the most valuable spots for me, I think, on the season as a whole, is finding spots to take the Islanders over 5.5 goals for plus money. I'm not sure how many times I've done it for the play of the day video. I know I've had several for the articles, and there's a number of money line spots that I do like today, but Ian, I can hear myself on your side if you don't mind. Just sorry, I'm one of those people there. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, so I like a number of money line spots today, but this total was one that sticks out to me. And I know I was on the Canes team total on Thursday against Philly. It didn't come in. Philly did everything right that game. It seemed they were on a back-to-back after a big win against the Caps. They still came out in the first, got the early first goal, I think, with 1 minute left in the first period, and kind of just took over the game after that. And Carolina Hurricanes continue to not convert their opportunities, and sometimes that comes with pressure. The cliche expression in hockey is players are holding their sticks too tight. That has been said about the Canes the past couple of weeks. They're facing a Islanders team that's also on a slide. But the Islanders have lost 5 in a row. Canes have lost 4 in a row since beating the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto 2 Saturdays ago. And so you kind of wonder, why get involved with two teams that are inconsistent in, I guess, either the offensive side or the defensive side. And the reason is on the back end of both teams, we spoke on Thursday about what Carolina was missing in their goaltending, also having starting defensemen out. And then you look at the Islanders side of things, and they also have, let me just pull it up here. They're also missing Boychuk, who got the skates to thankfully, just I think they said the eyelid, very dangerous looking injury, but he will return if they make the playoffs, kind of thing, I think. And they've been missing Pelech for most of the season, and you look at their goaltending averages as a whole on the year, they're not as stellar as last season, and that's why I took the Senators the other night and the over 5.5, which both came in. And that was, I think, I saw it in an article, only the second time that Barry Trotz's Islanders team has lost in regulation when they've scored 3 goals. That's quite a trend and a statistic to think about. When the Islanders score 3 goals, they at least get a point, and that was only the first or second time that they didn't manage to. So in this type of game, I'm looking at a 3-3 type of game where, while the Canes will finally be able to convert some of their opportunities against an overrated back end for the Islanders, given the historical way these teams match up. It hasn't been a problem in the last 7 meetings for the Carolina Hurricanes, going back to the playoffs where they swept the Islanders. And so the 5.5 number, while a 6 would be kind of a signal to probably take an under, it would be juiced very heavily to the under. 5.5 for plus money is just too much value for me. So I've taken the over 5.5, and I've also taken the Canes team total over 2.5, just to finally get some goal scoring done. And as far as the money line side of things, yeah, there's a bit of value on the Carolina Hurricanes, but this is going to be a playoff type game. A blowout either way would kind of surprise me, given the importance of the game for the Eastern Conference race. And both teams are really struggling to stay relevant. It is a really, really important game. So for that reason, you say, well, playoff style game means low scoring. Well, the Canes also, in elimination games playing in New York last season in the playoffs, dummied them 5-2 twice. And actually, those might have been, I forget if they started in New York or started in Carolina last year, but it was the 2 elimination games 3 and 4, that were high scoring. So I do get the number. I understand why it's a 5.5 and not a 6, but really, given my approach and what these teams have sort of exhibited in defensive numbers over this last little stretch here, I like goals to be scored rather than it to be a 2-1 game. And
I agree with it completely, because I like the over. It's on my card as well.
Oh, awesome.
And the Islanders have cashed overs in, I believe, 2 straight games. The Montreal game earlier this week and the Ottawa game. And we can't sugarcoat it. This is not a team that's playing that typical stout Islander defense right now.
Right.
It's just not. It's a team that's struggling right now a bit to keep the puck out of their own net. Their offense has been equally problematic, but you look at Carolina, that's as patchwork as it gets right now. In terms of their defense, with Brett Pesce out, with Dougie Hamilton out, 2 of their best defensemen, maybe they're the 2 best defensemen they have. And of course, it goes without saying, Mrazek and Reimer on the shelf. You're dealing with AHL netminding on a nightly basis with Alex Nedeljkovic and Anton Forsberg. This is the formula today for the New York Islanders. There has to be some offense here. With how depleted Carolina is on the blue line, and now they're down to their 3rd and 4th goalies in the system, basically called up from the AHL. So if you're the Islanders offense, hello, time to wake up today, I think.
Yeah, and it should be said that while we look at, because I'm not very big, generally when a player in hockey is out of the lineup, it's a little bit over talked about. Generally from people that I hear or talk to. And when we talk about the defensive side, backup goalie again, or a second string goalie, or a call-up defenseman, 1 or 2 of those things, it could result in a costly goal, meaning a loss for the game, in which case maybe your handicapping approach is correct in saying, I'm going to go against this team because so-and-so is out and this person's getting called up and they're not going to be able to perform to that standard. But when you have several players on the same side of the ice that play the same roles on both teams, that's where I like to see the value being recognized. And so, both teams dealing with those issues, and it's a reason why they're both on losing streaks. You can't say that the Carolina Hurricanes streak of losses here isn't in part due to not having at least average or above average goaltending that they might have got from a Reimer or Mrazek at this time of year, how important it is. So maybe it just works out to that extra goal where the AHL call-up doesn't control the rebound quite as well as he should, or a third string defenseman is playing slightly more minutes and is ices the puck and
struggling. Can't play the situations the guy he's replacing could. Exactly right.
Right. So so I'm glad to hear that you're in support of that one, Ian. And as you said, that one's getting started in a little under 3 hours time. And I think I checked just before the show. I think you can still find about plus 100 at quite a few places here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, plus 100 at Bet Online, um, minus 102 at Pinnacle, plus 105 dimes. Yeah, it's sitting around that now. It's come down a little bit, but it's going to sit, and it should. It really should, because I mean, I understand. I don't need to get into it. I think my point's been made. Let's get into yours
No,
without
it's
me
true.
droning
It
on.
should move that way because I think the over's the right play. Exactly. I
Yeah.
know what you're trying to say. Exactly. Yeah, but Captain Obvious play of the day is the one I'm going with. I mean, it's pretty easy to back the hottest team in the NHL right now, isn't it? But that's exactly what I'm doing here with the Philadelphia Flyers. That's not just that they're a bet-on team; it's that they're facing a dead bet against team for me right now, and that's the Buffalo Sabres. Philadelphia minus 230 at home, 6 shaded to the under the total. I got to give the Flyers credit. I thought they might have been picked off and had that streak snapped the other night by Carolina. I did not think that was a good spot for the Flyers coming off the
Yeah.
huge win against Washington. But no letdown, no hangover off the big win. They just took care of business, workmanlike attitude, and outplayed the Hurricanes. Deserved the 4-1 win against Carolina in that game. Just they've been unbelievable, this team right now, the Flyers, in terms of their scoring. They've been scoring 4 goals or more, I believe, in 9 or 10 straight games. The Flyers, like, their offense is getting contributions from everyone. The defense is chipping into the offense and scoring. You're seeing Ivan Provorov score goals in back-to-back games from the blue line for this Philadelphia team. Their defensive play is pretty sturdy. Carter Hart, we know, has played very good during this win streak, especially at home. We know the Flyers have been just beyond good, stupid good, really, at home this year. The Philadelphia Flyers, their home ice record, one of the best home records in the NHL. And for the Buffalo Sabres, I've cashed a couple of bets now against them. I took Pittsburgh on the puck line Thursday night against Buffalo. I took Winnipeg on the puck line on this video Tuesday night against Buffalo. Both of them cashed in. Stick a fork in the Sabres. I mean, it's over. The loss that killed them, I think, and crushed their spirit was the Arizona loss to end the road trip last week. They had a 2-0 lead in that game. Got off to a great start. They gave up 5 unanswered goals. Ended up losing 5-2. And the comments from the team after the game were like, it's like they lost a dear friend or something after the game. The way they were just so down in the dumps and woe is us. And now we know finality is setting in, that playoffs are not coming now. We're definitely out of it. And they really have not responded positively in the game since that Arizona loss. Winnipeg pretty much dominated them. The 4-2 score against Pittsburgh the other night, kind of flattering. I thought Pittsburgh controlled the game most parts of it, but Buffalo was able to capitalize on a couple opportunities, including a short-handed goal off a fluke bounce that Buffalo got in that game as well. So it's not like they were right in it with Pittsburgh, even though they only lost that game 4-2. So that's back-to-back games where the Sabres have, if you bet against the Sabres on the puck line, you've cashed in the Winnipeg game. Actually, even the Arizona game, the 5-2 game. So that's 3 straight puck line winners if you've been betting against Buffalo laying the goal and a half. Why not do it tonight with the hottest team in the NHL on a home ice that has been nearly impenetrable this season? So for me, and I thought the value was going to, I thought Philadelphia actually might be laying a price on minus 1.5 on the puck line. I actually had this at Philly minus 1.5 at around minus 110. I'm very surprised we can get plus 120 or a plus price of any kind on this puck line bet. So I still think there's value with it. Flyers on the puck line minus 1.5 plus 120 to keep this incredible run going.
Yeah, I'm on that as well, and for a lot of the reasons. A good example was last night. I was on the Blues puck line, and I was on the Blackhawks puck line. Both lost with outright wins on the Devils and Red Wings. But my point here was just going to be that if you're betting a team that is a short money line favorite and you've got a slightly plus puck line price like you do today, if you're betting that team, it's because you believe that the score line is going to show a margin of goals for the reasons using your approach, whatever it is. So don't get involved with money line minus 200, minus 190, whatever they're sitting at, because the reasons that you're on them in the first place shouldn't be an overtime winner or, just winning in regulation by, a goal late in the third or something like that. So absolutely go for the puck line. And even though, you'd say, on paper, maybe early in the season, you wouldn't be comfortable playing this. Given the mentality, you're okay with how the teams are coming in a clash of form. So I'm on that one too, Ian. And yeah, you can say it's the square play. It's you're also not messing with the money line, which I think is the squarer play or the more risky play, because people like to expose more units on a straight up win rather than by the goals. But just play your one unit, play it on the puck line. If it loses, it loses. And you can say, okay, well, Buffalo got a few lucky goals, or they came out better in the first and, somehow still covered in a 3-2 scoreline. But down the stretch, we're going to continue to pump the puck line against them, and hopefully over a multitude of games that's, comes through. And it did it for you on Winnipeg the other night. No.
Yeah, it was. I actually had
Yeah.
I had Winnipeg on this show Tuesday.
Tuesday
against
night,
Buffalo.
right.
Yep. And I actually had a bet Pittsburgh against Buffalo Thursday night.
Yeah,
I didn't use
I was
one
on
as
that
play
as well.
of the day, but
Yeah.
I was on Pittsburgh puck line against Buffalo. Buffalo's a play against right now. Okay, they're out. Eichel even is sputtering right now, and he's the one guy they need going for them, obviously. And they just that was as clear as day when you saw and read what the players were saying after the Arizona loss. It's almost like, you know what? Whoa, we might as well just, you might as well just cancel the rest of our games. We don't
Was
even
it
feel
like
playing.
was it like those Ottawa Senators cab ride
Yes,
quotes?
it was. Jack Eichel was like, "This sucks. This is a bad feeling. Another year where we don't get to play playoff hockey." Ralph Kruger, the coach, saying there's a lot of pain in the room right now. That sounds like a team I want to bet on. There's a lot of pain in the room. Yeah. So that's why, and it's played out on the ice. They've looked like they've been in hangover mode, Buffalo, these last couple games too. Really non-competitive against either the Jets or the Penguins, the last two. So they might be in tough. Now you got to play the hottest team in hockey, so they might be up against it one more time.
Great, good stuff, man. All right,
good stuff indeed. Great discussion, great analysis. Now let's hopefully get the great wins out of these two plays tonight, or today I should say, because Adam starts early. Carolina, New York Islanders over 5.5 plus 104 for Adam, and I am on Philadelphia Flyers minus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 120. Let's go for that 2-0 sweep. That'll wrap it up for this Saturday edition. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Again, sbrvideo.com/NHL daily. For all the great NHL written content at sportsbookreview.com. We will be back on Tuesday, noon Eastern Time, for the next edition of the SBR NHL Double Play of the Day video. For Adam Booth, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Saturday and great weekend. Good luck with all of your wagers, and we'll see you again on Tuesday.